Welcome everyone to the Prado Museum. My name is Daniel and I'll be your tour guide. Today we're going to be looking at the painting Las Hilanderas. This was painted by Diego Velázquez. Diego Velázquez is one of the most famous painters in the whole world. He painted one of the most famous paintings in the world, Las Meninas. This isn't that painting, but this one is almost just as famous. In his youth, Diego Velázquez painted some magnificent paintings. Other painters were even jealous of his work, so jealous that they deemed his paintings as mediocre or amateur. But these amateur paintings that Diego painted went on to inspire some of the most famous painters in the world, such as Leonardo Dali, Francis Bacon, and even Pablo Picasso. Now, enough about Diego. Let's get into his painting. This painting was inspired by a myth, and that myth was the fable of Arachne, which is what this painting is also named as. This painting is also called The Spinner, and in Spanish, Las Hilanderas. That fable goes like this. One day, a beautiful girl named Arachne was weaving at her spool. She was one of the most magnificent weavers in all the land. Arachne was so good that people came from across the land to see her masterpieces. Arachne boasted that she was even better than the gods. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, heard this one day and decided to take Arachne on in a weaving competition. Athena disguised herself as an old woman and came up to Arachne and asked her, "Do you think your weaving is more powerful than even those of the gods?" Arachne, of course, said, "Yes, my work is so beautiful that even those of the gods don't overpass it." Outraged at this statement, Athena challenged Arachne to a weaving competition right then and there. So, Arachne accepted this challenge, obviously thinking that she would dominate. The two got on their spools and weaved for hours and hours. But when it was over, Athena finished first. Athena created a masterpiece that was so beautiful, everyone came around and it showed Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades doing good deeds throughout the whole land. After Arachne had finished, they came and looked at her work. Her work showed the gods doing bad things, such as Zeus and all the women that he had seduced. As the town people looked at these masterpieces, they knew exactly whose was better, Arachne's. Although hers disproved of the gods, hers was more beautiful than Athena's by far. Athena was really jealous at this, so she decided that she was going to start abusing Arachne. Arachne eventually got tired of this and decided that she was going to take her own life. Arachne tied herself a noose and hung herself. Athena, taking pity on her, decided that she didn't want her to die, but she wasn't going to have her go back to her old life. So, Athena turned her into a spider, hanging from a thread. Some even believe that she was the very first spider on this planet. Arachne was doomed to weave forever, her and her children, for all eternity. Now that we know the backstory behind this painting, let's take a closer look, shall we? Alright. Now, let's take a look at this. What do you notice? Here we can see a woman at a spool. Could this possibly be Arachne? Now let's look in the back. Here we can see a masterpiece, and people coming from all around to look at it. But in most of Diego's paintings, he usually paints one person looking out into the audience. Our question is, who is she, and why is she looking back? Could this be Athena, watching Arachne, watching her weave her heart out while she had already finished her masterpiece? I suppose we'll never know. Only the great mind of Diego Velázquez knows. Maybe if we look hard enough, we can see what he was trying to point out. Thank you for being on this tour with me, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.